for almost a year. So the cores are experienced, they are tenured in playing with each other. There's going to be a lot of chemistry here on the server. And as we get this flyover in towards Nuke, well, Lucy, it's nearly time to get this first best of one underway.
Yeah, Bait Esports, they're going to be starting on that CT side because Ecstatic were the ones that got to choose the final ban. So they'll have the CT advantage going into Nuke as we get into this pistol round. Bro Team 0-1 looking for that all-important first win. Alex going to be bring out the dual Berettas, the watermelon ones, and the fight actually is going to take place outside. Wrinkle gets a kill despite the dink. Captain Kirkle gets in one from main as well. They managed to sneak a player past, but that bomb is out towards Secret, and the duels are awkward. Kraghen's actually found the kill. The bomb is still alive. This is getting a little bit weird. At least they've isolated Kraghen, and now they can both try and fight him. With USP that gets the kill, but the bomb has made it down, and maNkz has linked up with him.
Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter because Captain Kirk has found his head. Suddenly, this 1 versus 3 is very difficult for brzer. Though that's a great start. P250 does connect. 1 bullet headshot for the remainder of these players. But Captain Kirk just steps in. Really important round for Bait and himself. 3 kills in the round. And that one was interesting. See what IECSTATIC they're trying to do. They're trying to throw a little bit of aggression outside without using too much utility to try and catch Bait off guard. You've got the double-pronged attack of the jump into main, trying to wrap heaven, but at the same time, that's all a little bit of a ruse. You're disguising your players trying to get down towards Secret with the final intention of really being that B bomb site. So the fact that IECSTATIC get a plant in that scenario is impressive in itself because it really didn't look like it was going to come into fruition.
Yeah, let's talk about a chaotic round to get things started. Lots of excitement, lots of brawls across the server, but the 1v3 would have had to have been perfect. Now we're going to have that full spy come in. They did get that bomb plant down, so they do have a reasonable investment going into this one. And for Bait, they have decided to go for 4 M4s, so they are playing the long game here, completely investing into this one. Alex with the FAMAS, but that means utility is incredibly light across the board. You can see there's 2 smokes and a flashbang. That's all they're working with. A little bit more on the T side, interestingly enough. Only 2 players lacking head armor, so that will mean that a couple of these rifles, the Galils in particular, are going to be more potent.
A little bit reserved from Bait. Not really forcing the issue. Alex will re-smoke and get a little bit close, tucked in towards the vent. That door has swung open. So now he's concerned that there could be players near his position. But IECSTATIC, they're just waiting. Just trying to see if Bait will overstep the mark, make a mistake. Just grouping in towards lobby. Cabbi's even just holding outside. There's no presence over here from Bait. It's just a passive lineup from Captain Kirker all the way deep in towards CT. Bait, they can rely on their crossfires. They're just going to wait for IECSTATIC to try and walk into them.
Captain Kirker's rotating up to heaven. This is going to be well timed because his hit is about to come through. Alex is getting mollied off. He's going to go for the fight though. A second Molotov comes through and he is still fighting, but only finds the 1 kill. Hkta has found Kraghen though. Captain Kirker's still up on the rafters. This is where he's able to activate and it all gets shut down. 2 kills come through for the T's, but that is all.
That was really nice position as well from Captain Kirker. The fact that he just stands over his teammate. IECSTATIC, they can be split in between 2 mines, just trying to aim between 2 different elevations. Always ensures that the fight is in the firm advantage of Bait. Nice little setups. A good read on the rotations, where IECSTATIC have not really shown any presence outside, even without any utility. As mentioned, it was very light in the previous. Bait, don't feel the pressure, can just rotate. That's exactly what happens. Really nice stuff. Just out with a partial investment now for IECSTATIC and Hkta. Well, he's getting aggressive. This is what we saw against Cloud9, and he opens up the account with the MP9.
Yeah, great one. And Captain Kirker's going to get a kill for free. Spots the noggin of Kraghen as he tries to cross. And Cabbi is there's definitely some awareness here. That's the perfect shot. Captain Kirker has spotted him now. There's a little bit of chip damage, and Alex is here to finish the job. This one going to get cleaned up easy as you like it. Don't lose a single player. Well, as M4s get retained, and Hkta can hold on to the MP9.
AWP has been purchased for brzer. Was highlighted in this head-to-head. And speaking of being highlighted, there is the impact player in round number 3, Wrinkle, the counterpart for Bait Esports. T-side new core pin, it's a bit interesting. I feel like once IECSTATIC get control of Secret, that's really when brzer can start to point and probe and try and cut out these rotations. That's where the sniper will be in full effect. For right now, he's peeking all the way back in towards outside. That grenade does a healthy little bit of damage. It means that the M4s are really just viable for a one-shot headshot.
Thing about this AWP though is they might not be expecting it to come out so early, right? Like in third round, or fourth round, sorry, after how those initial rounds transpired. No bomb plant, so, you know, he had to get this with just body armor. So the decision, if you're keeping track of the economy on the CT side, is, you know, it's a risk for them to buy the AWP here. So there's a bit of a surprise potential. brzer could catch them off guard, and that could be the way into this round. At the moment, no one is giving him the fight, though, so they are playing fairly cautiously outside. Cabbi is trying to posture for some positioning, but there's not really any smokes deployed to allow that cross to come through, and it's just going to be a wide sing from kraghen. Alex, no chance there. Removed from the server, sits back, no trade potential either. So it's a good opening kill for Ecstatic. And now they can throw those outside smokes. They can get Cabbi into his secret position. He can start to be an absolute nuisance, and the defense has to be aware of all these different positions.
That's Captain Kirker just stepping in. That's a great kill to find. And because the opener for Ecstatic was over towards Hut, Bait, they don't really need to move their setup. There's no control has really been lost. Captain Kirker can now come up the vent. Surely Ecstatic have to be aware of this, but he's just biding his time. brzer not looking at the angle, considering heaven, but maNkz and Queenix will eventually trade for Hkta. He could be the thorn in the side already, dropping another player, and there's no time. 10 seconds left. This bomb, it needs to be planted. Will manage to do so, but suddenly Ecstatic, they're in a position where they're penned in, and they need to fight their way out.
You can see maNkz already trying to push up towards Hut, but Hkta hasn't really budged and doesn't even need to. Wrinkle finds that kill from main, catches the timing, and then Hkta comes through to take down Queenix. A good retake, good passive setups from Bait, and the fact that Captain Kirker finds that lurk player in Cabbi, that's the big difference maker then, because then they can focus their attention completely on the A side. They don't have to worry about this late flank coming through. They can just focus their attention on the fights that are coming. Captain Kirker obviously catches this great timing onto brzer. That's such a difficult shot to hit for brzer, right? It's either like a really quick flick because he's focused on heaven, or it's a no scope. So that's a really well timed pop up through vents, and that's a great defense from Bait considering that was a 4v5.
Yeah, small little detail as well. It's nice that Wrinkle spammed through the bomb site as well, because it gives away an audio cue and just reveals the second player for Ecstatic. Really good start. Impressive how they're playing. It's a lot more reserved. It's a lot more passive. They're really relying on the fact that they know how to rotate when executes are about to come in. They don't want to take aggressive stances, unless it is with those MP9s. We have seen Hkta push a little bit here and there. Full investment back out for this T side, just the rifles, and Wrinkle will have the AWP, picked it off, scavenged off brze's body.
Gets a free upgrade he gets to use now. He's having a great start to this series. Smoke's going to come through, and they're going to be actually making their way pretty quickly down towards Secret. A couple of players filtering through. Captain Kirker going for the spam here, but they are being relatively quiet on this cross, and that's the bomb down as well. So this is a commitment to the B bomb site. Queenix the last player to be crossing, and then they've got that lurk out in kraghen over towards Rab. He can come through on the flank. Queenix holding to see if anyone's going to chase them down, but now they're getting ready to start clearing their way to B. You can see Hkta has already positioned himself on the site, so Bait are definitely aware of the possibility here. Wrinkle holding through Rab for this crunch. The rest of the players are focused towards the upper site, so the rotations will be a little slow.
And that's off the basis of Bait not really pushing towards lobby control. Normally when you lose outside, you tend to find that CTs will take that area of the map, but Cabbi will clear Hkta. All of the Ts, they split in from various different angles, control room window and decon. And here's kraghen just holding for these rotations. Hkta does finally get control of that lobby and will find the kill. So now he's going to regroup with his teammates. 3 of them are all congregating down towards this ramp. In fact, make it the whole team. They're going to try and go for this retake. There is a couple of kits in play, but no smoke, just flashes.
He's going for the man fight here. maNkz takes that on head on. Alex gets a kill in response though, so it's a 3 versus 3, but they're running out of time. They have to start finding these fights. Cabbi down in dark is able to find that kill. Player up behind the silo does manage to get one in response, but the bomb is just simply not enough time. brze's even going to catch Captain Kirker on the retreat, so they're going to hold on to that AWP, but Ecstatic are going to get their first round on the board. No one felt a little bit too easy for Ecstatic, right? They managed to just do the very standard outside smokes. They just walk into secret. There's only one player on the site. They catch Hkta off guard, and then from there, it's too easy to win this round, right? They have all the advantages.
Just comes to what we're saying, where Bait are being so passive, and that response was a little bit late into taking the lobby control, so they were denied of information that entire time. And It does make sense to go for a 4 versus 4 retake. I mean, Wrinkle did have economy to drop on over, so did Captain Kraghen. But if you take a look at the bank balances, it's still wearing quite thin despite the score advantage for Bait. Ecstatic, they're completely fine. They're still out with the AKs in full force. Have more utility than the prior. You see that Molotovs and flashes are lined up immediately on the top of the silo. It could be a change of pace here towards the A-bomb site, but Alex is in close to this door to really disrupt this if the hit does come through.
The good news is they have lived up to their twit longer and they've gotten their first round on the board. Can they make it to Alex sitting on this smoke? Hkta's actually found one while fully blinded, and that was a perfectly timed Sender to slow things down. It's a little awkward for Alex. He does get that kill before he is traded out. Spots a play dropping down vent, and Wrinkle is in there, but actually doesn't even get that kill. It was Captain Kraghen from Heavens. Thought it was going to be a nice little no-scope. Cabbi's now waiting for this push to come through. Punishes Hkta, but the bomb, it's fallen down into the crosshairs of Wrinkle, who's actually swapped over to the AK. Now he's fighting in vents. Cabbi looking to flank through to ramp. There's still a way that they can bring this one back, but they have to get this bomb and have to make their way down to the vents, and that's a difficult thing. It's being held from every which angle, and this is it. This is the opening. Cabbi, he's going to find Hkta, and brzer, he's come around through main, not expecting that. Captain Kraghen gets caught off guard. Wrinkle now 1 versus 2. They know where he was because he was the one that dropped that bomb. He's going to be repositioning now, trying to catch them off, because if they get that bomb, they're just going to come straight back up the vents, right? Wrinkle, he can catch them off guard. He can end it all here. That's the first to spray down. He converts it, gets 2. Wrinkle saves the day for Bait.
That was a really nice round from Wrinkle. He can leave the bomb as well because the clock is so low. Ecstatic, they need to be aware that he's been residing in the vents the entire time, so the fact he catches them off guard here is absolutely perfect. I mean, what a play. And that's just a really heads-up play from Wrinkle, and the fact that he's just got the game sense to know that that's just the eventuality that Ecstatic have to go for due to the nature of the clock just burning down so thin. That's a really well-played clutch. We kind of see sorts of flashes of why this guy's being so touted as such an up-and-comer. I mean, that's a really good clutch.
He started that round with the AWP in vents, right? We saw him go into the vent immediately with knife out in case there was like a vent rush, and you can get that right-click instant kill, and then when they do go for the drop into vents, he's there, doesn't even get that first kill, but the bomb gets dropped into his lap, picks up the AK, and then, as you mentioned, just completely outplays them. The heads up play. Hkta's now got the XM out, so you can see a shotgun into play. So, Bait, you know, their economy is actually not fantastic, but it's still going to be outdoing Static, who are once again going for this cross. This one's definitely should be aware of it, because Captain Kraghen has been brought down very low from that spam. So now they can respond with the rotations. Alex is here. Good smoke as well to slow things down. Now they've got Ecstatic penned in. Kraghen on the flank, the only player outside of Secret. He's smoked off as well.
Wrinkle's worked his way down as well. Just pivoting between the B-bomb site and ramp. Ecstatic, well, they fall completely silent. Such a good position from Alex because he can even just spot them out. But now with that Molotov, it pushes him back, and now the information is a little bit cloudy. Hkta could catch out Kraghen, but this setup's really good because Wrinkle can take the first contact, then Alex can just swing in. However, what I will say is Amsa did play in this position before, so it could be kind of expected for Ecstatic. But with 40 seconds left, they are burning down the clock, but they need to start getting a move onto one of these bomb sites.
And I love the decision just to leave the double doors open with Wrinkle rotating through, because he only came through about 30 seconds later, so that was a very intentional setup. Queenix is going to make a lot of noise over this side of the map. Definitely going to sell the presence here, but they're still holding this route back. Captain Kraghen is here, holding through the main. It's a spray at long range, and he can't convert it. Hkta has to drop down with the XM, and Kraghen is there. The AK comes ahead, now he can hold this flank. So he's accelerating through. Kraghen not spotted, tucked into the corner, and Cabbi's also tucked in next to the vents. This retake's actually quite difficult to find these openers. Wrinkle's found a collat. He's found 2. Now he's picked up the AK, and he can start to make this one work. Want to see that one on the replay. Don't know how he got that second kill. Alex coming through main is going to catch off brzer as well. Cabbi, they know where he was. He's going to swing out and find Alex. All on Wrinkle once again, and he manages to do it. Wrinkle is doing everything for Bait.
God, that literally was a bait, wasn't it? Wrinkle, he comes through the lobby really late on after Captain Kraghen even walks back through towards Squeaky. Ecstatic, they're aware of the player really close to that squeaky door, but they're not aware that there's a second line of defense flanking them in the back lines. And the fact he even gets a collateral is absolutely absurd. Wrinkle is 11-1 right now. Also, Captain kraghen is 10-4. Over 100 ADR on both of these players. And for a round that looked quite promising for Hkta, it's again these deep lines. Bait, they're covering all of their bases. But as the rush comes through, the MP9 is completely churning them up. Hkta finds 2, and suddenly, oh, this attack is completely stopped in the tracks. maNkz with the lock-in. Even find the kill through the smoke. That's a quick one. Bait looked dominant.
That was a full investment from Hkta as well. They just decided to go for a complete aggressive play and a shutdown by a smoke grenade and an MP9, right? That smoke deployed immediately. I think that was actually a T-smoke, right, to get past the incendiary, and then the MP9 just used it to his advantage. They're both trying to fight the same line there, so maybe part of that's just like, it is quite a new roster, right? And sometimes your pathing, it does need to be sort of worked out to imperfected so that you're always got someone covering a different angle, because that's a very default position that MP9 was playing out for Hkta, right? He's just able to swing out for him back of sight and get 2 kills for free. Didn't really have to work too hard for those. And from there, the round pretty much gets shut down. So Bait Esports, you can see what we're talking about with that strong CT side against Cloud9, right? And against a similar tier of competition in Hkta, they are looking even stronger.
It's a fine expectation right now. I think what's interesting is Hkta, I don't mind going for that quicker hit, right? Because every single round they've defaulted, they've burnt down the clock, they've put control towards outside, and they've waited for aggression that's never really come their way. So the fact that they try and change the pace, they try and catch Bait a little bit off guard is a valiant attempt. However, just the reaction is absolutely flawless. Now Wrinkle, he's going to be tested over towards ramp. This is normal starting position, sees the spot, doesn't take the first shot, but then will jump in. But maNkz, he's here as well to be baited in. And there's even a third threat over towards Hell. The rotations are absolutely perfect for Bait, and there's no way in for Hkta.
Yeah, the double setup on ramp early on, that's quite the heads-up play to have that set up there. Brzer missing the shot doesn't really matter. And then the extra rotation. Okay, Queenix making it interesting. Nice shot on the Captain kraghen, but that's going to be all he gets. Wrinkle finishes off with the USP. No AWP needed. What a performance from Bait that we are seeing here. Going to see, once again, a full buy from Hkta. Now, it is that T side, right? So, you know, there is a grain of salt with the scoreline. You do expect that the CT side will have the more dominant lead here, but this is quite the lead.
It is, and also just to add to that, it's the fact that it's looked really comfortable for Bait. These rounds haven't really got incredibly close. So, I don't know. Whilst the scoreline, it does suggest a dominant performance. I mean, it is really replicated in how they're playing. I mean, look at this setup now. Captain kraghen, this is the first time he's gone ahead of these outside smokes. Whilst Cabbi is searching in towards Garage, I'm not sure they're going to be ready for his advanced position because he hasn't been here in 10 rounds. And look at Wrinkle. He's even here to just back him up. So Captain kraghen can step in. Brzer could potentially get the trade, but they're not going to be ready for this AWP. And all the kills just coming in a matter of moments anyway. Wrinkle doesn't even need to reveal his position.
Oh, the thing about this round, right, is they were hunting for Captain kraghen because he's been playing Garage. He's been playing outside, always trying to contest the smoke walls that they've been throwing down. He's consistently been there every single round. This round, no, I'm going to go play Secret. Completely throws Hkta's strategy for a loop. They can't find him anywhere in Garage. Queenix gets flashed through and it's empty. There's no one home. And then he pops up out of Secret, gets the kill. Wrinkle's not even needed to activate there. It all falls apart. Bait Esports, they are showing a masterclass here on Nuke.
I think it's really interesting to see this setup as well from Bait, especially with Wrinkle and the AWP, because in some of these rounds, he's always been partnered with a rifle, whether he's been supported by them or whether he's gone to support them in the instance of Captain kraghen. The dynamic nature of this AWP is making the defense really difficult to read, and the fact that he's always got a player, a buddy just right next to him for the immediate trade, it is just setting them up for success.
12 for 1. Not bad for Wrinkle. Brzer 6-9, but we've only seen that AWP out once, and then I think Wrinkle's still holding on to the AWP probably that he actually got off Brzer in that 4th round. That's a little painful, still by your own AWP. This round going to be another tough one as they don't have a great deal into it. Wrinkle's looking for this fight, and there's always a second player here. Alex is progressing through the flames. There's a gap in it, and he's caught off guard eventually. He does get one kill. Find Wrinkle, though. There's a chance here. AWP shot thrown out through the smoke. Does leg Captain Kirker as well. Unconfirmed damage, but damage nonetheless. Now Hkta can slow things down. This only took place in the first 30 seconds. They have plenty of time to work with.
Looks like they're reset back towards outside. Bait, that's the first time we've seen them really get aggressive towards the lobby, and it comes at probably the worst moment because IECSTATIC, they're on a lower investment. Tech9's up close and personal, do the damage. Captain Kirker got put on notice through the main wall as well, so suddenly, IECSTATIC, they are trying to reset. Amster is spotting out. So we'll see the cross. Doesn't commit to the fight straight away. And look at the rotation already coming in. Hkta here in close support, but he blinds himself. That allows Queenix an opportunity to strike this round. It is falling apart for Bait. Captain Kirker, though, always playing this so well. Trigger discipline on the first. Oh, and even heads shots onto Queenix. And then Amster can step in for the final. So it has been recovered. But for a moment, it looked like IECSTATIC were about to win a round that they really shouldn't have.
Yeah, Hkta almost fumbles there, throws the flashbang, and it doesn't quite go around the corner. Could have thrown the HE and actually would have done a chunk of damage, but obviously he didn't know the sort of timing they were coming from. I think maybe he thought they were taking a little bit slower, being a little bit more cautious as they cleared through Secret, just because Bait, obviously they didn't know the setup, but gets caught off guard, goes down, and it looks like a chance is going to present itself, but Captain Kirker is continuing this fantastic performance, 17 for 6. I did like the start from IECSTATIC that round. They were able to find those openers. They took that fight in, and speaking of taking the fight, he's just all the way through, taking fights deep into T-spawn. Does find brzer, removes the AWP as well, so that's a big kill to find early. He's traded out though, which gives IECSTATIC a bit of room to work with. That's their highest fragger for Bait gone down, and that was the menace that was really causing them troubles outside.
Look at the reaction that you've got. Wrinkle already rotated over. Just holding very deep and passive. Spotting for this red box cross. You got Amster close in towards ramp. So there's a little bit of a gap that IECSTATIC potentially could overwhelm. With all these smokes just being dumped by Bait, there's only one really left. Still a minute on the clock. Hkta trying to get a little bit cheeky, faking out the audio cue. Then repositioning back in to rejoin with Alex. 50 seconds left. This is a really nice setup for Bait. They're just playing this so passively, and they don't need to worry about any information because they've pretty much got it all.
Yeah, Wrinkle should be able to catch off Cabbi. Unless he goes through Secret, in which case, okay, it is looking like the B-Wrap. Cabbi's made it down to Secret without being spotted. Amps, though, tucked in. This is a difficult angle to clear. And have to swing out together, and he's doubled up. Make it! Oh, not quite a triple. Wrinkle is there to actually get that kill. Bomb is dropped as well. So Cabbi, despite making it all the way down to Secret unannounced, well, not much he could do for it. All his teammates have fallen, and he's got 15 seconds left, so might just want to hold on to the AK and the armor at this point. He's got utility and can buy the rest of his kit into the follow-up round, and given the loss bonus, the rest of his teammates will likely be investing anyway. So that's going to be 11 for Bait.
That's a really nice position as well.
Oh, I think he went down after time.
Oh, did he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, no. He did, yeah, 700. A lot worse for IECSTATIC. But this position from Amster here, you can see it on the replay, right? I mean, the fact that he's here is not only is it an off angle, but it completely makes IECSTATIC look directly at his position. So when Wrinkle rotates in from Hell, they're not even looking just kind of in their periphery at the Hell possibility. So it's just really minute details that are just getting Bait more control within the rounds. Kraghen trying to get a little bit aggressive, but Alex, well, just through the smoke will find Queenix, never mind. Another aggressive prong being removed for IECSTATIC. Kraghen has made his way down the vent, so now he can look to be a little bit of a nuisance. So much utility is just halting the rest of his team, so he's completely isolated.
Yeah, and they should have some awareness that this has taken place just because of how much smoke cover was there for such an extended period. Even though Queenix goes down in the spam, that was all the way deep. You can see the blood splatters there. So that kill came through before all that fight took place at vent. So Kraghen's position, at least should be some awareness that it's possible. The question is, what leverage can he gain here? Still 3 players actually on the A site itself. Attacker in towards main. And there is a player over towards ramp in Amster, so he can come down if he wishes. And Kraken's going to come up. Captain Kirker has been checking it periodically, but there might be a timing here. And all of kraghen's work early on could just be completely negated here if he's caught off by Captain Kirker, but that's why this hit's coming through at the same time. It's all going to come down to the timing. No, Captain Kirker gets that kill. Hkta has found maNkz as well. Cabbi trying to swing out for the trade, but it's just not possible. Hkta gets 3.
Again, a really nice setup over towards A. You've got Hkta and even Wrinkles there as the third rifler just on that bomb site, right? So that's why Captain Kirker can take a more passive line in towards main and just hold for the crossing towards garage because he's being supported by his IGL. This has just been complete exemplary stuff from Bait. I mean, impressed doesn't even come close to the feelings that I'm just experiencing just watching this game. Like, I didn't expect this at all. I expected it to be a close game based on what we were saying. Remember, last time out on Inferno, it was an overtime affair, but this is just one-way traffic.
Certainly a surprise. 12 rounds on the CT side does feel like an incredibly difficult task for Hkta to be able to fight back from, considering this one is also just Tech 9s and 4 smoke grenades. No, not even a flash amongst them. So they've got the outside smokes they can deploy. They're going to come out now. Wrinkle is out here, and Captain Kirker is up in this advanced position in towards dark. Elevated as well. It's going to be so difficult to clear. There's even a player spamming through with the M4. He can play a little bit of trigger discipline, but now he does reveal himself, and well, there's 2 kills that go his way. Hkta swings out. The Tech 9s get 2 in response, but maNkz is even brought low in the process. Has recovered an M4, but oh my lord, just manages to get away with the flames tickling his feet. kraghen, who did get down through vent, is trying to link up in secret. There's actually a fair bit of time left on the clock, so if kraghen does manage to find a kill out here, which unfortunately he won't because all the CTs have fallen back to these more passive lines. You can see the read. Wrinkle is sitting all the way back towards ramp, ready if maNkz goes in this flank, and if they go to the A side, there's a player in towards heaven, and they're happy to play retake against... Oh, Amster is going to find kraghen as well, actually, so that flank is dealt with. maNkz, the sole survivor, 4 HP, and Wrinkle is here to finish the job. Bait are going to get up to 13 rounds.
That's another example of Wrinkle working with his rifler in tandem. Because you've got Amster just holding lock in B, because Bait haven't got control of Secret, really, so they don't know how many players are down in the depths of the lower bomb site. And Wrinkle, he can hold ramp, just in case, but even if his teammate falls or gets the information, he's so close just to rotate in. It's another good setup. I mean, this really just looks like it's going to be 14-1.
Yeah, you don't like to see it. We wanted a competitive game here. There is something to the meme value of Ecstatic just getting 1 round, though, after the tweet. But we want a competitive game here. Hkta doesn't want it to be a competitive game, though. He's looking for 2. Kills have come back, but Amster is in this very advanced position. Good clear from kraghen. Nice wide swing. So Ecstatic have got the man advantage. But look who's alive. It's Wrinkle and Captain Kirker, the danger duo for Bait. Ecstatic are still in towards lobby. They're still worried about a push that's coming through. And for the moment, Bait are sitting back. They've got a player out towards Secret and one sitting ramp, so very passive lines. And Captain Kirker's the one that's going hunting.
Doesn't want to really press the issue, though. You don't really want to go for this fight on your own because you're so far removed from Wrinkle. But it's information gathered at the very one there. And look at this. On the other side of the map, Wrinkle, he's pushing in towards ramp. He's trying to get as much information as he can. About to be contested with all of these ecstatic players. He could even catch out the bomb here. Oh, but he does miss the shot. That's a rare miss from Wrinkle. But it puts Captain Kirker on notice. And now he can come through towards main. But ecstatic, they are aware of it. They account for it. Smoke position through the smoke, though. Captain Kirker will strike, but it's a good trade from brzer. This round looks like it should be ecstatic, given the HP of Wrinkle.
Yeah, I like the idea from Captain Kirker. Goes for the hero play. They've got so many rounds to work with. Why not make a highlight of it? Now Wrinkle has to pull off the highlight of his own. 23 HP in the 1 versus 2 against brzer and kraghen. They've doubled up in towards CT vent. Gonna get the info, goes for the swing, but cannot quite hit it. Gonna be a 13-2 scoreline. Bait Esports looking dominant here on Nuke.
Yeah, now the question is, swapping over to that CT side, can ecstatic try and recover this situation? We're going to take a short break and then we'll bring you that second half in just a moment.
Fall in love with me.
Well, talk about a dominant performance. Bait Esports come out swinging on the CT side of Nuke. I do not think either of us thought this game would transpire in this way, but wow, Bait, what an impressive CT performance.
Yeah, and it was just a little bit flat from Ecstatic. You can see the game plan was trying to take out side control and down in towards the lower bomb site with the vent pushes that kraghen was so often able to exploit. But once they made it down there, the clear direction of where they wanted to end the round was not really clear as they would have hoped for. And as a result, Bait just completely capitalized upon it. Still, every pistol round is crucial, especially in these best of one scenarios. We have seen crazier comebacks before, but with Bait, they're just lining up this utility. Could be an instant pop on towards this lower site.
Right, utility being thrown. kraghen is here with the dual Berettas, so a good position to be in. brzer tucked into a CT Vensol. The dual Berettas removed immediately. That's an upgrade as well for the T's. They're going to swing out. The bombs drop. Queenix is fighting for his life here, but Captain Kirker with those borrowed dual Berettas gets a kill. And second pair up and towards heaven on Wrinkle, and he goes down as well. They only lose a single player in that T hit.
And that's just really... You were speaking about the path in from Ecstatic before with some of these upper rushes. With that pistol, that was just a couple of flashbangs coming in, and Bait, they've got a clear intention of which way round they want to prioritize their targets. They're also just given a gift with the fact that the dual Berettas just drop in towards Hkta, trying to take the fight, try and catch Bait off guard, but he just falls straight into the crosshair. And well, that's the pistol round one. And it just feels like we are reaching its inevitable conclusion. It's not a matter of if Bait can close out the game, it's more an inevitability of when.
Certainly feels that way. Ecstatic investing into this one. Full buy, so fighting for every single round that they can get. kraghen's on a nice little angle. Hkta is clearing it. Perfectly spotted. Deals with that 5-7. brzer even taking damage outside as he tries to go for a few shots of his own. Wrinkle wanting to stand and deliver. And Cabbi is down the vent. Wrinkle does deal with brzer. Now getting picked apart one by one. Cabbi might get a kill here for Brzer. The bomb delivered. Can't quite swing onto the second though. Like the idea. Captain Kirker though is unstoppable. He's on 27 kills now as he closes the round out on Queenix. This man cannot be stopped.
That's flown under the radar a bit as well. We're prioritizing and singling out these members on Bait. We're saying they're all stepping up as a unit. And you've just got, oh yeah, Captain Kirker's on 27 kills? It's like,
yeah, 154.
hello?
He was watching that
when
electronic games
happened?
yesterday, right? He was like, yeah, I wanna put up an insane performance. I'm loving it. Ecstatic aren't loving it.
Yeah, if he hits 30 in 18 rounds of play, I mean, I'm already impressed, but I mean, that is absolutely absurd. It looks like they just want to try and end this one early. Cabbi will be aided by that grenade at least, but kraghen does trade back. So the player advantage is still in favour of Ecstatic at the very least, but they are currently fighting for survival. From where it's been removed over towards Squeaky, it's been thrust forward straight into the opening arms of Ecstatic. And Hkta is the last player alive, 1 versus 4. It should be a third round on the board, so Ecstatic will stay alive for one more.
This round was a little silly. All right, that's my professional analysis. It was a little silly from Bait Esports. All right, look, you're on 50 and you just hold W out of every single angle. They're running through smokes at ramp, running through smokes in vent, out single door, running through hut. It just all fell apart. That works in pugs. Doesn't quite work here. Can't catch them off that badly as much as Ecstatic are struggling. So let's maybe a little less silly here. 12 map points to work with though, so I guess you can be a little silly.
Investing as well. Hkta's got a Tech 9. Rest of the gang R2 for nail with the AKs. This time it's just a fast smoke. They want to get out towards Secret early. They're all moving as a pack. All of them are here. kraghen to try and contest with this position. Has spotted out the player towards Silo. Good shot on towards Captain Kirker and gets information that Hkta has made his way down. This is where brzer can just chime in for support. And well, these individual gunfights, they are favouring Ecstatic, and Bait, off the back of not really having too much utility, they prioritise the weaponry. They go for this secret cross in a contact play and they just get completely removed.
Yeah, it's difficult to cross there without those smokes. Wrinkle does get a nice kill into brzer though. One in response, and oh, looking for the fight into kraghen. Kraghen's wide swings. It feels like he just swings onto your screen and then you are deleted. Bomb recovered by Alex, but only temporarily. Cabbi is there to save the day, and Hkta, well, he did get down to secret, but he was the only one that made it there alive. And he's swung with the Tech 9, so doesn't even have an E key for these long-range duels. That bomb out in the middle of no man's land on an island that he cannot cross to safely, being held from every which way, and kraghen is there to deal with him. So IECSTATIC are going to get their 4th. And a 5th also looking likely. So Beta bleeding a few rounds here as they fight for that winning blow.
What's interesting is just looking at Bait's statistics on Nuke and the fact that normally they win about 60% of their rounds on the T side, comparatively to, well, it'd be the other end of things, wouldn't it? 38% on the CT. So the fact that it was so dominant in the first half is even more impressive. They've clearly been preparing for this matchup. And given the nature of the fact that they can just get so many T rounds on the board normally, should be closing it out. However, it's just the Glocks. Cabbi got to be careful. That's alright. brzer does miss a shot here and there, but yeah. IECSTATIC, they're going to get themselves to 5.
Just a matter of time. Bait get a bomb plant here. Taking anyone down with them. That'll be a win. The Glock versus the AWP. Not sure about your chances there, Wrinkle, but I admire your bravery in going for it. maNkz. That's 1 kill. She's got to get the 2nd here on Captain Hkta. Bomb drop. Now Wrinkle. We go back to this aim duel between the Glock, and now it's an AK that he's trying to fight against. Actually does get brzer down half, so the Glock does do a bit of damage, but was never going to win that duel out. And now it's a 15-5. The guns can come out once again for Bait. They have another chance to close this one out.
Well, this is really the test now for IECSTATIC. Not only to contend with the full weaponry, but just, you're in this high-pressure scenario. You're here at LAN. It's the RMRs, and it's 0-1. You're down 15-5. Kind of sounds like the start of a copy pasta. However, that's the scenario that they are in. Need to show themselves, prove why they deserve to be here. Really nice spam from kraghen. Captain Hkta brought down low. And that's the danger, man. Molotov, it's perfect. Bait, they can't go down this secret cross just yet. Another one comes in, which splits up the attack and also means that these smokes, they're about to fade.
Yeah, Hkta's taken so much damage outside based on this utility alone. Amster boosted up. And sentries were perfect, weren't they? And also the performance is important here because of the way the system works, where your performance does matter. It's not just about getting the win or losing. It's about how you played in those games too, in terms of determining those next matchups. And with every matchup counting, from especially for the losers, very important that IECSTATIC are able to put up a reasonable performance here. Managed to gain a fair bit of ground outside. Amster has crossed all the way towards heaven. He's going to be flanking through, and the response from IECSTATIC is to push through towards lobby. This is fairly common. Captain Hkta peering in from main, looking for something, and Alex is definitely aware of this. He's holding from T roof, looking to see if he can catch off these CTs as they do poke and prod. If he moves forward slightly, he'll spot kraghen. There it is. Spots the toes, but can't quite get the kill. maNkz is going to make his way through into his crosshair, though, so that's a kill for free. Now Queenix in towards Hut is going for this fight on the heaven wrap, and oh, brzer sitting in towards single. It's actually taken down 2 of these T's, dropped the bomb as well. The trade comes back. Still only 2 CTs left. kraghen fighting for his life. He's trapped in here and there. He's trying to come in every direction. Cabbi, the only one left. It's a 1 versus 1 Bait. 10 seconds left. He has to get this bomb down. Can get around the silo. Just no, he's going for the man fight, and Cabbi is going to win it.
Nice play from Cabbi. Aware of the time, just takes an extra second just to wait before he peeks in, ensures that Bait can't quite close out the game. That's a really nice reaction, though, from CT. You mentioned that once outside control has been lost, typically these teams like to push in. I didn't expect the ramp presence as well, and the fact that they can circumnavigate that heaven push and completely shut it down, it's almost like roles reversal on the server, where almost, in a matter of fact, IECSTATIC are the T's trying to break back in and eliminate Bait's contention on the bomb site. Does come into effect. Trade space imperfect, and Cabbi was just the ruiner to Bait's plans. kraghen up towards credit. Little bit of an off angle. Again, it's just the pistols. So So got to just make sure for Hktatic this one's clean like it was in the previous eco round. Make sure they don't trip over their own shoelaces. We've got to be careful because Captain kraghen is still hitting every shot under the sun. Brought down low, but, oh, he nearly found brzer.
Gets brzer there, and I'm starting to believe they wrinkle. These run digs are absolutely filthy. They do so much damage to just eagles. Only 3 players surviving, definitely keeping Static limping here. But we can sort of see some of the issues they were having against Cloud9, right, in terms of bait, where the T side was just a struggle. And that's definitely showing here on Nuke as well. You can see the importance of starting off on that CT side for either one of these teams. It's really showing here as they just need one more round, right? They got the pistol and now they're fled. So 4 rounds in a row. Obviously the comeback is still a long way away, starting not even up to double digits yet, but they said a similar thing about Sprout yesterday and they were able to make it happen. And that would be a story.
For this round, bait, they smoke off towards garage and main. It looks like they might try and send Hkta over towards heaven potentially for a quick wrap. Instead, he drops close to the main smoke. Could try and walk forward. Captain kraghen fully blind. That's where kraghen will activate. And maNkz, he swings in from heaven and actually catches out Hkta that was looking to extend further. Bomb's made its way back in towards lobby. But the rotations, well, they're perfect. Queenix and maNkz, they can just sit here and just wait for bait just to really walk into them.
Straight in, maNkz trying to get the reload off on rafters. It's going to go down. Wrinkle also found a kill, so this round is still on. 2 versus 3. Breezer's pushing up in towards lobby, has the Tech 9 out, wanting to play this close angle. Abstar, if he comes around and hard clears this with the AK, it's going to be so difficult for Brzer. And okay, that was a flashbang getting thrown through, so they're not fully aware that Brzer is this close up. He's ready to flank through as soon as this hit comes in, so it's going to be a difficult one for bait. Wrinkle trying to clear. Breezer's continuing to push. Tech 9, he's going to end this all here if he catches the right timing. Going to come around and spot 2 players' backs turned. Easy. Double tap for Brzer. Gets Hktatic up to 8. Bait, they are struggling on this T side. They're not really going to have the full investment here. Good decision to use that tactical because they need to really come up with something new. Maybe a bit of pace. These defaults outside where they're trying to go for these fights aren't working out for them.
It's just really interesting because although we talk about the victories that both these teams have had, to counter-argument it, bait, when they did beat Movistar on Nuke, it was really in the infancy stages of Martinez coming into that roster, and that's a whole transition period for them. Despite that, though, that was 9 rounds they managed to gather on that T side. So they are capable of doing it. It just maybe feels like the occasion, the pressure is getting to them. And that's something we did point out in pre-game. We said, okay, well, these 2 teams, it's the highest level competition that they've played at so far. You've got the pressure of being here at LAN. You've got to take in the occasion. You've also got to settle your emotions. And quite often, the closing out the game, that's one of the most difficult parts for any team to really accomplish. And Hktatic, they're with the momentum now. They have the economy behind them. They can still buy in for a couple of these rounds, and they'll have to just keep reinvesting. So even if bait makes it a little bit expensive, it's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
13-2 was the half. Captain kraghen 1 kill shy of that 30 bomb. He was on 154 ADR after that pistol round. Let's drop down to 125, so it's still very impressive. Bait, they are waiting the sun out. Does look like it is going to be a quick one in towards A. Here comes the Molotov, smoke being deployed by Queenix so he can still stay up here. And Cabbi's on the other side. They are playing this dual setup on top of the hut. The Molotov is fantastic. Cabbi can now just fight on top. And it's a cleanup for Cabbi. Call it an ace.
Yeah, that's just really nice work. Nice little setup as well. The fact that they've got 2 players up to top huts, even if one gets eliminated, the other guy can just swing in, and that's going to be completely unexpected. It's just important that these rounds are so clean for Hktatic, because it's only going to spur them on and fill them with more confidence. And Cabbi just holds mouse 1. Spray control, perfect. Bait just walks straight into the firing line. This one's done. This one isn't done yet. Like, we thought it was. I mean, it was 15-2. Now kraghen's getting a little bit more confident as well. One-way smoke in towards Secret. He's got the information because Bait, they've just dropped the smokes, but they're not actually going towards outside at all. kraghen can now relay this information. No one's there, so that means that the drop-down vent doesn't need to come in. Here comes the hit. Flashbang's just going to rain on over. Static needs to defend.
Queenix caught off guard, can't quite win the fight. Brzer gets one onto Amsterdam, and Cabbi's found Alex as well. It's all falling apart once again for the T's. They cannot make any headway into this. Captain Kirk is the only one left. He does get his 30th kill, but now he has to find 34 to win this round and win the game. He does a lot of damage on the screen, but it's the AWP, and he can't deal with kraghen. It's 10, double digits now for Hktatic. We are getting into the conversation of this comeback. Just 5 rounds between these two teams, and Bait cannot find headway on this T side.
It's a little bit of hesitation as well, because you can see what they're trying to do. They wanted to go a little bit faster in towards the A bomb site. As soon as Hktatic dropped their smokes, you can see Bait, they're almost just umming and ahhing about the situation. It's like, do we go through it? Do we just try and wait out the utility? But then they haven't got anything to go in to the bomb site with, so they decide right at the end of things to try and rush through. That's only to their detriment. Aggressive playing towards ramp. Got to be careful with this boost, but it has now come into the fold. maNkz, oh, his spray is just as good as Cabbi's, and suddenly Amsterdam does get a couple of kills. It's a 1 versus 3. Does have the AWP. Go for this. Oh, it doesn't even matter. kraghen will lock that one in.
11. 4 rounds left. Bait, it feels like they're all out of ideas here. We thought, Brandon, at the half that this was going to be a quick and easy best of 1, that Bait were going to come through, upset everyone with this dominant display. But as soon as the side swap, as soon as that pistol round was over and done with, Hktatic have just shifted up a gear. And that's that caliber of player we're talking about, the reason that they did this rebuild. Showing it all here. kraghen going for the spam out. Utility going through. Now going to get 1 player down. Incendiary is going to slow down the rest of the push, but Captain Kirk is down, and there's already 2 rotations from the CTs in response. That's going to be a nice nade. Oh, brings 2 down to half. Exactly what the doctor ordered. So they have crossed these players down, but the response is here. Brzer, he's following the line. This should be an easy kill for him. Jiggles into the angle, falls back, opens the door for the sound cue, but he's going to stand strong. Looking for more. The flashbang going to force him off this time, but he still has support. I don't know if that was what he wanted to drop. He's actually burnt himself down to half. Now they're repositioning. Hkta going to throw the smoke outside, but kraghen has been in garage the whole time. Amster is going for the clear here. Got to flash through to try and force kraghen off, and oh, it is a good one. Does blind him, but the swing doesn't come through, and kraghen is still fighting this. Getting ready once again to go for this fight, and he's going to double up. They both fall in garage. The bomb delivered on a platter to kraghen. Alex and Wrinkle now 2 versus 5. Brzer is going to spot him off and take him down with that 5-7. So Wrinkle's the only one left, and the 12th looking all but inevitable. That bomb is without reach, and there are 5 CTs that have pretty good read on where he is.
Oh, even misses the shot as maNkz goes close to the corner to go round, swing, and the shoulder reveals himself. There's even a player at the top of Secret.
Let's
Lovely
go.
Stuff. Yeah, really good stuff from Hktatic, right? I mean, these rotations have been absolutely perfect. I don't know, Bait, it just feels like their T-sides are really quite one-dimensional right now. It's a similar story to what we've seen from Hktatic, right? It's the idea of, let's take this area of the map, let's go and take Secret, for example, or let's try and probe in towards ramp. But then once that control's been established, the mid-rounding and where these teams really want to end up on the different bomb site, it's a little bit muddy. Like, it's not really too clear what's going on, and just these CT rotations on Nuke have been perfect from both of these teams. Like, example in that one is, you've got the Molotovs being dropped outside towards Secret, splitting Bait, as it so often has been the case for them as they try and make their way down towards Secret. Then you've got the Orb, you've also got a player drop down in towards Vents. Bait, they can't go anywhere. And now look at the buy. They're really just hamstrung into this round. It's Captain Kirk trying to get a little bit aggressive. And well, he is in the edge of the smoke, but Queenix just spams him out.
Yeah, Queenix has been struggling a little for Hktatic, so good to get the opener onto the danger man of the other squad. Queenix is even going to double up onto Hkta. The bomb's dropped. That's not knowledge they have. But it is now down in vent, which makes it very difficult for these Ts to even get anything done. And they're all falling apart. Just 2 left. kraghen looking to potentially find Amps to here. That kill should come through Any moment from one of these CTs. He's tucked in there. He might be able to use the smoke to his advantage to get one in response, and wrinkled in towards single could potentially swing out there. Sun feeling done and dusted. Queenix going to get his third in the round. A good round for Queenix. And, you know, we were talking about Captain Kraghen, right? He's up on 30 kills. He was a good 10, almost 15 kills above the rest of the entire server. Look at Ecstatic. brzer, 26 kills. Cabbi, 24. Even kraghen's not that far behind at 19. They are all just behind Captain Kraghen. Those three players are all sort of chasing bait, and there's no one else really stepping up on that bait side. This T side, they are struggling, and Ecstatic are showing us that resilience. This is, what a game. We're now up to almost that comeback. There's only a couple of rounds left. 13 for Ecstatic, just 2 more for overtime.
Did see a similar scenario yesterday between Eternal Fire and Bad News Eagles, and just when you thought it was going to go to overtime, it was 15-14, and Bad News Eagles just closed it out in the end. So it'd be heartbreaking for Ecstatic if that one followed the same narrative. brzer peeking in towards main, been quite dynamic with this AWP, but main, they're getting aggressive in. Captain Kraghen, well, he's eliminated all of them on the bomb site. Cabbi is still here in towards the rafters, but Alex will trade, and suddenly maNkz needs to step in. Wrinkle, 1 versus 1. But maNkz is so low, and now he needs to try and reposition that bomb. It's open over towards the bomb site, but he's staring at the heavens. He's not aware that maNkz has crept down, and now he's been spotted out towards vent.
Been heard, made all the noises. Wrinkle knows that he's in pursuit, but he's still going for the bomb plant. Wrinkle, that's quite the play, and Ecstatic is going to come through and save it. Wrinkle, surely he heard all of that, but the pressure may be a little bit too much. maNkz in the 1 versus 1 saves today, and that was after those heroics from Captain Kraghen. What a triple kill to open things up. Drops down from main, runs through, gets 2 through the smoke, and the 3rd onto site. It felt done and dusted. But Ecstatic, they managed to bring it back and pulls off the 1 versus 1. 14 rounds, last tactical timeout coming through, overtime on the cusp.
Oh, even calling a timeout there, it's just like, yeah, bait, sit there, drink it in. What a clutch. After such chaos in the round, which bait seemed to be thriving in, Ecstatic bring calm towards the storm, and they are 5 kills away from taking us to overtime. 13 rounds in a row, potentially, from this side. And what a storyline that'll be to kick things off again in the opener of this day 2 of the Road to Rio RMRs.
15-2. 15-2 was the scoreline. And we are now 15-14. An unbelievable resurgence from Ecstatic. They get the opener as well. Captain Kraghen, the hero of the round before, the hero of bait throughout this entire best of 1, removed immediately. No response from bait. They're all grouped up on the other side of this smoke. maNkz, he's holding it as well. They're going to walk through straight into his crosshair. He sprays down 1, keeps the damage onto the 2nd. The trade does come through though. And the rest of Ecstatic are not nearby, so they can't fight this one. Damage done to both Hkta and Hkta though. So the advantage is here for Ecstatic, and they have rotated to play it down to B, keeping 3 towards A as well.
Yeah, look at brzer. He's on a recon mission, peeking on over, does hit the shot on towards Wrinkle. That's the head-to-head, one in favour of Ecstatic. All these players are now just falling for bait. This feels like an inevitability. brZer's even going aggressive for more. Hkta just on the other side of the wall, and brzer does remove him. Looking for 30 kills himself. Hkta needs to try and recover the situation, but he's already been spotted out. And bait, they're about to throw away an absolutely massive lead. Ecstatic bring it all the way back to overtime.
The comeback of the RMRs so far, in my opinion, up to 15-15. It was a 15-2 scoreline, but Ecstatic, they stood strong on the CT side and they staged an incredible comeback. We're going to go to a short break, catch our breaths before we come back to see if Ecstatic can pull off the miraculous and take the map.
Potentially we thought that a 15-2 scoreline would be enough for Bait to see this one out, but on their logo it's a little bit of a fish hook, and we all kind of got baited into that one. Hkta, a stellar defense, and now overtime needs to try and be the difference maker between these two teams. It's the first to 19, and we're going to play a game, Lucy. It's whoever can get a T round will probably win the game.
Yeah, that's been the story of this. It's been the story of CT halves Hkta. 13 CT rounds in a row to get us here. That is unbelievable. The resilience from this team on show. Kraghen's got down to secret early. Captain Hkta lurking around these smokes. He's been the man to watch. They've been catching him out a lot in these later rounds. Looked like he'd almost finished them off with that 3k entry in one of the last 2 rounds, but it wasn't enough. Alex does get the opener. That's a rare opener going the way of Bait as well. Through the smoke, Queenix goes down. Captain Hkta was brought low through the smoke himself, and kraghen on this elevated angle is a hard one to clear. Wrinkle's being boosted in to check out ramp as well, but brzer is sitting back in towards hell. Hkta going to throw out a flash. Doesn't go quite where he hoped it would. brzer is on a wide angle here, which means if he does miss this shot, they can easily get the trade onto him. But Captain Hkta, the patience is rewarded with the kill. Trade does come through from kraghen though. So the man advantage still towards Bait, and Alex is looking for more. He's trying to clear out here. There is a player in the rafters. He does have the awareness of it, and Cabbi's going to drop the bomb. He's trade out immediately by Wrinkle, and Alex is also going to catch off kraghen. brzer the only one left, 1 versus 2. It would be poetic justice if Bait got their first round on the T side here. Going to be swinging out, and they are going to do it. Bait get the T round. They were searching for it for 13 rounds straight. As soon as we go to overtime, there it is.
Comes from a likely hero as well, right? Alex stepping up just when his team are down in the dumps, just when they need a hero. 3 kills in the round, and Wrinkle steps up as well. That's a player that we were praising in that CT side, and when the round swapped over, he was largely really absent. It was just Captain Hkta just putting up the numbers for Bait here and there. The fact that they get this round on the board early, it's a good sign. Hkta, well, they've been here before. Been down in towards the deficit. This time the utility spam is coming through the smokes with the M4s. No bullets are connecting though. There's a gap in this smoke for kraghen to work with. It's another kill for Alex on towards Cabbi.
2 openers for Alex with none in response. This smoke proving to be detrimental for Hkta. Can't lose your cool now after such a long comeback they had to stage. As soon as it gets to overtime, the openings are coming for Bait. Can they convert this second T round? That feels like it would be enough. You mentioned that was the challenge. Already got 1 T round, now looking for a second. They've slowed it down once they've got this opener. Not immediately pressing it, putting a bit of pressure in towards round. Double flash to allow Hkta to peek out. There's no one there. Rickle's holding T roof with an AWP, and the rotations are scrambling. 3 CTs down towards B. Bait back up and they make their way towards A. It's going to be an empty bomb site. They're going to have to come up through vents, going to have to come through heavens, and that's exactly what's happening. Played with rotations perfectly. Going to make their way onto an empty bomb site here. That smoke goes awry, but it doesn't really matter. The rotation from heaven is here from kraghen. He does a bit of damage onto Hkta, but he gets caught out. Amps swings out, takes off his head. These 3 CTs are all the way down on B. They can't do anything here.
It's just a wrong read for Hkta. Previously praising them in the previous because when Bait just threw a little bit of misdirection, they were just anchoring on the bomb site. They were making sure they didn't get caught off guard, but there's obviously been a breakdown in communication here because everyone from Hkta just rotated down to the lower bomb site, and Bait, well, they found the gap. They dispatched the player in towards heaven, and they're going to get a second round on the board. It's going to be 17-15 consecutive back-to-back rounds for Bait. And maNkz will be lucky just to stay alive, to be honest with you. Just needs to try and hold on to his weaponry. $10,000 in overtime. Needs to try and hold on.
This one hurts. This one hurts. 2 rounds to Bait on the T side. Not over yet, though. Not over yet. Just this is the way it has been going. It has been these CT sides being the dominant sides here in this matchup. And Bait now, if they can get 3 T sides, that feels like the nail in the coffin. Hkta, this is a must-win round, really. Otherwise, they'll be fighting tooth and nail in every single round into the second half of OT. As we get this one underway, Bait's going to a bit of pressure on. Fast one. Breeze is going to get the opening onto Alex. This time, no opening for him, and it's also speed out towards ramp. maNkz is going to fall back initially off that contact. They have gained ground, but they've lost a player.
Looking to reset as well. Bait working their way back towards the lobby. So one of these rounds where they're trying to disrupt the rotations as much as possible, try and maneuver onto this upper site. Or even just go outside. Maybe catch a player in transition. There's so much time left on the clock to play with. They've got smokes to accommodate across as well. Maybe they could just go contact, just right-click them. So they can cross instantly. They are taking their time here. They're really slowing this down. Being down the man deficit, they're grouping as a unit. They want to make sure that the trade spacing is perfect. It looks like they might just be allowed to get down here for free.
Static should be aware of this blind spot, though.
They're not looking. Look at the silhouettes.
At some
No
point,
one's turned around.
it's got to click. They do have a player on the site, though. maNkz is there, so if they do start to make noise, the rotations can come through from ramp as well. But yeah, it's just this one player here, so if maNkz doesn't come up with a kill here and he goes down for free, it'll be a 4v4 on the retake. Hkta going to go down for free. Hkta, let's take a bit of damage. Now they're holding this vent drop. kraghen swings out those saves. They gets 2. That's huge. 15 seconds left. Wrinkle has to go grab that bomb. Amps are here to support. That's a huge double kill. That could be the difference. The bomb can go down. But now it's a man advantage for Ecstatic. And Brzer close range hits the quick scope. Amps goes down. Wrinkle, the only one left. 1 versus 3. Smoked off towards single. Has a bit of room to work with. Here's him coming through double, going for the double kill. But Brzer, another quick one. 3 in the round. Brzer gonna get them up to their 16th. 1 round still in it between these two teams.
Oh, Static hold on. Nice job as well from Cabbi just to go first to make sure that he's a low HP player. Target selection is not really taken into account. But it's just this kill here from kraghen. Just completely just shutting them down. Just making sure that they can scramble right towards the end of the round. But that one nearly worked out for Bait. The fact that they were so unaccounted for so long, it was really clever just to go completely silent after taking quite a pivotal piece of map control. They go to the other side of the map. Rotations are scrambling. We're in a high pressure stakes scenario now.
Talk about high pressure. Cabbi's forgot to buy armor.
Gosh.
That might come back to bite him. I don't think that's a visual bug. I think he's just straight up forgotten to buy it. You can see a 0 under him. Palm's definitely sweaty at the moment for both these teams. For Ecstatic, especially after that comeback they staged. These T-sides have been so difficult for both teams. And they need to get 2 more just to guarantee a second overtime, 3 to win it out. Captain Kirker, he was such a menace outside. All eyes on him. Cabbi has managed to cross in towards Secret. Captain Kirker did let him get across, so that knowledge should be there, the possibility. You can see Wrinkle already here to hold it. It's coming through towards A though. Captain Kirker, he's smoked off, can't fight it. Alex in the back of the site trying to get something done. Finds one in the swing out as well. Get the second and the third. Bait. Gonna drop everybody. It's just Cabbi left. He's gonna go down immediately. That lack of armor ends up not coming into fruition as Amsa does take him straight out to the noggin. Match point for Bait. This is a position Ecstatic found themselves in for 13 rounds consecutive when they're on their CT side, but now they're facing it for 2 rounds on the T side.
Again, that's a nice setup from Bait as well. The fact that Captain Kirker has got the information that a player can go down secret. Wrinkle's just holding for that inevitability. So they don't over-rotate. They don't make the same mistakes Ecstatic did. And that's enabled them to elevate themselves to this position again. They just can't choke it out. Surely not this time. Wrinkle getting aggressive. Queenix could be caught off guard. Still hasn't had the best game, but he is holding for this push. Amster swings in, but crouches. Really disrupts the crosshair placement. Alex is even trying to support. Hkta chimes in from the hut. This push from Bait, it's extremely unexpected. They've not done that really too far in regulation. And Hkta's even going back in for more. Catches off the AWP. There's consistently been a thorn in their side. Bait, maybe this time they are going to look to convert it. 4 versus 2.
It feels inevitable at this point. We said that many times throughout this series with that huge lead that Bait had. But now it feels like Hkta. They forced it to overtime. It was such an incredible run. And now they have to pull off the 2 versus 3. They found Hkta. Wrinkle, though, tucked in. Such a difficult clear. Not going to fight it quite yet. Good Molotov. The awareness is here, but he swings out, gets the kill onto maNkz. Now it's just Cabbi left, and a 1 tap for Wrinkle to finish it. Bait, it's an absolute slog, but they get there in the end and deny Hkta the comeback. Heartbreak for Hkta.
It is, but it's also a massive sigh of relief from Bait. I mean, that would have really been damaging to the longevity of their tenure here. Obviously entering into the best of 3s, but the fact you've thrown such an advantage. There's so much to break down about this game, and we will do so just after this quick break.